Alright folks, welcome back into another case with the Microsoldering. Today's patient is MacBook Air A2681. It came in for no power and it came in for data recovery and repair. Let's take a look together and see if we can fix this unit. Always, once we have any Apple device, we do have our checklist. Our checklist is trying to see if the unit is powering on, yes or no. No, it's not powering. Next step in our checklist, we have to connect the power meter and check it, see what kind of power we are getting. Pay attention on the right corner. Okay, we do have a 20 volt and 1 point is charging. Let's check it, see if it's powering on. No, it's not powering on yet. Let's check second port. No, it's not powering on either on this port. But the good thing is the USB ports are working. Both of them are communicating with the charging IC, with the power management control unit, and switching from the 5 volt to 20 volt. At the same time, as you can see, the unit is charging. It's a 20 volt, 2.6 amp, which means battery is charging, but it's not powering on, it's not booting. This could be an easy case, or it could be one of the hardest cases. But let's open it and check it, see what exactly happening with this unit. Back cover is out. Now, in my checklist, next step on this kind of unit, because as you can see, I cannot check any component because everything are covered. What I will do, I will check it a few more things, and then we can go from there. I'll try to remove first disconnect the battery in order to disable. Okay, the battery is disconnected. Next, let's check what kind of power we are getting without the battery connected. Pay attention on the right corner. We do have 5 volt, we do have a 20 volt, and it's stuck there 0.09 milliamp. Generally are kind of common on this unit, the lead angle sensor to fail because of the liquid or because of some type of moisture. That's why I wanted to check, see if the lead angle sensor are good or it does have some sort of issue on it. Let's unplug it. Okay, this is our lead angle sensor. Let me disconnect it and try to see if it's... actually, let me remove it and check it. Okay, our lead angle sensor is in good condition. There's no issue with the lead sensor. Alright, next step, I'll try to remove our trackpad. And let's connect our power supply.
A few moments later.
As you can see, we do not have any changes. Always it stays on the same condition. What I will try to do next, I'll try to check if this unit is in recovery mode, yes or no. If it was in DFU mode, then in that point, it will not charge it. It will stack only 20 volt, almost 0 amp, but right now because it's charging, it's possible, because the unit they take it to repair shop, it's possible they try to do revive, and from the revive they stuck in recovery mode. That's why what I will do, I'll try to connect in our DFU device and check it, see if this unit is in recovery mode, yes or no. If it's not in recovery mode, I will try to do revive and see if this unit will start, if this is a corruption of the firmware, yes or no. All right, let's connect it back. This one. Okay, this device is not in DFU mode or in recovery mode. Next, there's one more thing, which is I like to check it and try to do it. Next step, we have to remove the motherboard from the inside. Let's remove it and check it and see what's happening. All right, the plate is out. Well, now let's check it, see what we can find with this board. As I mentioned on all my other videos, anytime when you have any Apple device, before you're opening any schematic or board view, what you can do, you can start checking all the coils. The coils are these inductors. This component are called coils. This one, this one, this one, this one, this one.
All right, I get it.
All this stuff are coils. Let's check it to see if we are getting our main PP bus 3.8 always present, and so on and so on. Okay, power is connected. We do have a 20 volt and it's stuck on 0.08 amp. Okay, volt, our multimeter in a volt mode, black into ground, any silver area, like this, black in any silver area, all these are the ground or true hole. These ones also you can use as ground. And then next I will check it, this part, we do have a 20 volt. Next I will check it, this component, but okay. This is our 3.8 volt, which is connected from this 3 to that way, but let me bring it into microscope. 3.8 volt, 3.8, 3.8, 3.8, 0.1, 0.3, 0.4, 0.5. Okay, 0, 0, 3.2, 20, 5 volt. Okay, now that we have to check all these coils, let's check it, see what we have. 0.6, 0.6, then we have this one, 0.2, 1.8, 1, 1, nothing, nothing, 1. Okay, next let's check this one. 1.1, 0.8, 0.8, 0.5, 2.6. All right, 12, 3.8, nothing, 0.8. All right, I'll start by here and I will try to see if I can put this unit into DFU mode and try to revive, because from my understanding, this unit does have corrupted firmware. That's the one which is causing this unit to not turn it back on. In order to put the unit into DFU mode, there's a few ways we can try to do it, but first, let me put it back into chassis and try to put this unit into DFU mode, because our 1.2 volt power rail are always present. Here, check it here. I believe it was this one. Yeah, 1.2. It's a stable and is not boot looping. 1.2. It's this one. I didn't open it yet, our schematic, but let's open the schematic and check it in reality to see if this one, that 1.2 volt power rail, that's the one which is connected into our force DFU power. Here is our board view, and the component which was checking was this one. This is our PMU, that Master Power Management Control Unit, and the one we was getting, it was this one. We was getting 1.2 volt here, 1.1 volt 25 S2 rail, and let's check it to see where it goes, this power rail. It goes to here. Okay, what is this? And here, as you can see, this is our DFU force switch, so we can put the unit into DFU mode, just shorting these two. Let me put it back the motherboard into the chassis, and we will short these two pins, put the unit into DFU mode and try to revive the unit. All right, motherboard, it's in place. Let me plug in the power. But before plugging the power, I need to put this device into DFU mode. Here is our DFU device. As you remember, it was these two. We have to short it. All right. The unit is in DFU mode. And now next step, we have to try revive this device. Before I will do the revive of this device, there's one thing which is I'd like to share with you. In case if you have any Mac device that need data recovery, never try to do restore. In case if you will do restore, what that does do, it will erase all your information, and that will be permanent because it will bring it into factory settings. So when it's in factory settings, at the same time also changing the encryption, which is mean you will lose your data. That's why when you have a device for data recovery, or if you need your data, never try to do restore. And the restore, it's this part. Never try to do restore. What is the correct way to do it? You have to try do revive. Go to advanced, and from the advanced, there's a revive of device, and this will take a few minutes in order to do the revive. If everything is okay, the unit will turn it back on, and from there you can get your data and everything will be still inside intact. But in case the data is not important in that point, you can try to erase it, but never try to do restore in case if data is important.
Never!
Okay, the revive process will start, and this is something which will take maybe 5 minutes or so. It depends from the case to case. All right, it starts the unzipping.
15 minutes later.
Fine. Now is the time doing the installation. Okay. It starts charging. There we are. We do have an Apple logo. As you can see, we do have an Apple logo. This will take for another couple minutes. And from there, we can see what exactly happening with this unit. Now we need to wait the bar to start filling this bar. If the bar is filling, that means this should be another success repair.
A few moments later.
Okay, the unit shut it down. Now it should be, yeah, clicking. Now it should be going into recovery mode, and we have to just enable the drive. And after that, we will be able to see here. Here we are. Here we are. Another success repair. As you can see, the unit is turning back on. It's charging. Everything is fine. The only problem right now we have, just in order to activate this device and bring it into user page, you have to go here, startup disk, choose Macintosh HD and unlock it. Otherwise, this unit will not come back into normal user page. Every time when you will try to restart, this unit will go into recovery mode because the unit is locked. That's why you have to unlock it. Once you unlock it, the unit will come back into recovery mode. And after that, you have to go like this, choose the user's name, then next, put the password, activate, and after activation, the unit will come back into normal mode. Otherwise, this unit always will stay in recovery mode. That's all. All right, folks, this was another happy end. Patient was able to survive. Customer will be happy. They do have the data. At the same time, customer does have also a unit, working unit. Everybody are happy. I'm happy, patient happy, customer happy, everybody are happy in this moment. I hope you enjoy it. And at the same time, I want to tell you, this was another DIY case. Also, you can try to check it. Once you do all this stuff by checking few components without opening any board view or schematic, maybe you'll be able also to fix another unit. I hope you enjoy it, and don't forget to share, subscribe, and comment. In case if you have any question, you can leave it in the comment section. I'll try to answer all your questions, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.